Beep, beep. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this thing that we like to call Northern News Now Plus on the Northern News Now Plus app. I'm your host for the duration of the time that you'll be watching here. I am Matt Rasmussen, the morning show director slash the king of Halloween slash local filmmaker. And those two go hand in hand today with what we'll be talking about. I also host this fun little segment called Movie Mondays with Matt on the morning show. Unfortunately, I only got one hit this morning. Sorry about that. We got preempted by some network coverage came in and took out our 6 o'clock. We got to do the 5, which I thought was, was okay. The 5 o'clock is always like a dry run, a little rehearsal. You can tell there's a lot of bumps that we need to figure out with the 5 o'clock. And then by the 6 o'clock, we kind of have the rhythm down and the bits, and we know how it's going to be. And then I'm less distracted directing, and then I'm actually able to get more into the bits and the character and do all the stuff and say what needs to be said. Unfortunately, no 6 today, which is unfortunate. But, oh well, we'll talk more about the flick of the week a little bit later. I guess there'll be some more coverage on Northern News Now for it as it opens this week. My flick of the week, which is the King of Halloween Movie Special Part 1. That is what I want to talk to you guys about today. It opens this week. So, very excited for that. We'll talk a little bit more about, the making of and all that good stuff and what it is and why it is and all that good stuff in just a minute. But first, let's just get the box office figures out of the way. So, let me find the box office video here. And, zoom. All right. Boing, boing, boing. All right, mic. All right, here we go. So first off, number 5, Soul on Fire was the first one this weekend. Next, Gabby's Dollhouse the movie. Everybody on the morning show seems to love this Gabby's Dollhouse the movie. Even Killer was getting in on it this morning. Then, number 3, One Battle After Another, the Leonardo DiCaprio movie. Next, Roofman opened in number 2. This is the one where Channing Tatum is hiding out in a Toys R Us. This looks fun. Number 2 here. Then, number 1, Tron Ares. So we'll just jump right into that one. Tron Ares opened. This is the 3rd Tron movie in the franchise. Honestly, I wasn't super excited for this one because, the first one's great and revolutionary. The second one was okay. Came out 15 years ago now, Tron Legacy, if you can believe that. Now, this 3rd one, it looks all right. Whoa, what is this? This is the trailer for my flick of the week. This is what we definitely want to talk about. And here we are in this very studio right here, the King of Halloween Movie Special. Sorry there's no audio playing for this. I have a lot of copyrighted clips and music playing through this. And here you will meet the Royal Court of Halloween in here. Here's the Jester. And you will see 30 Halloweens take place in front of your very eyes. You'll watch the King of Halloween grow up over the course of an hour and 37 minutes. Here's some old home video footage. Here's some old projects that the King of Halloween has worked on, all rolled together into one movie special. Yeah, a few other things, different TV appearances and things that have happened. There's an EVP from a ghost hunt. There was my first TV appearance. In all these different Halloweens, there's what the whole thing was based on. And here's, once again, inside this studio, which is the Northern Life Studio, the King of Halloween Movie Special, Part 1. October 16th, my friends. All right, gonna go back to camera here. Zoink. Okay, so, yeah, that is my flick of the week, the King of Halloween Movie Special, Part 1. Why Part 1? Because I believe there will be a lot more to come, as Part 1 covers the first 30 years of my life. And now I'm at a point where a lot of time has passed. I am 40 now. Yes, can you believe that? 40, 4-0, which means there's at least 10 more years to cover that I have not even gotten to cover yet in part 1. So by the time I roll around to part 2, I think we'll take it on longer bits. So anyway, if you're not familiar with the setup for the King of Halloween movie special, it's an anthology film, and it starts off where the King of Halloween shows up, and it's a scripted kind of bit, kind of like the Crypt Keeper, your standard horror host type thing, and he meets up with the Royal Court of Halloween, and they wind up also helping him to toss to the stories that you'll see. And the stories, these are the true parts. These are the found footage / documentary pieces. And I structure together a chunk of my life, which I tell throughout the course of different home videos, photos, films that I've made, projects I've been a part of, stage productions I've been in, ghost hunts I've been on, Halloween nights that we've been filming, all kinds of stuff. It's basically every amazing thing that I can remember about my life that I put together into this film, and it's structured into different parts. So the first chunk of it, the first story we toss to, which we call Halloween recaps, those are represented by 5 different Halloween artifacts. And the first artifact is, as you saw in the trailer there, it's the Chamber of Horrors Sound Effects Halloween CD, or actually not even a CD, it's a cassette tape that we used to listen to all the time back in the 90s. And that represented Halloween for me as a kid, that very artifact. So that's why that is the artifact of choice for that recap. And the whole first recap just covers basically the first 18 years of my life, from birth until then, until kind of graduation. But then I graduate at the start of the next Halloween recap, and that goes into my college years, and so on and so forth. And you just experience 30 years of the King of Halloween, mainly told through Halloweens themselves, especially always on Halloween night. That definitely gets covered. His pals are there to help, and they are always a part of his Halloween nights as well. That's why they're part of the Royal Court, and you find out more about them and why they're part of the Royal Court as well. And my hope with putting this film together is that it'll answer many of the burning questions that you guys have out there. I've gotten a lot of questions throughout the years. Who, what, when, where, and why the King of Halloween? As I've been on the TV for years, hosting Halloween specials since 2017, and people have wanted to know, well, why, and all of that stuff. So, the easiest thing to do is to put a film together that explains it all. So, there you are. That's what this will be. And yeah, very excited to finally release it. I've been making this movie for literally 10 years. I've been editing it. So, to say that it's very special, very important to me, very, my life's work, if you will, it's an understatement. It is everything that is me will be up on the screen for you all to see. And so, back to why it's been 10 years since I've been making this film. We got to rewind just a little bit to when I was working back in news in Wisconsin. When I first started way back then in 2011, I started in news officially. And my buddy Corey and I, who is one of the Royal Court members, we kind of got into this thing called mockery news, and we'd make packages, and we'd do all these stories and report on things. And one year, I was making a package about just kind of recapping my spooky season. Well, it didn't start as a spooky season. It started as the release of my first full-length motion picture, which is called Spooked in Bridgewater. And that came out on October 16th, 2015. And so I just needed to start documenting the release of this film. And I did a lot of press, I did radio, and I did a bunch of different things to get the movie out there. And I just wanted to showcase the process, as it was like a big important thing to us. So then, and that spread out throughout the entire spooky season. So at the end of it, I gathered everything that we had together, and I put together this massive video that kept ballooning. It was just going to be the movie special, but then it was our whole spooky season spread out into this gigantic 15-minute recap video. So then the following Halloween, 2016, I was able to show that to everyone involved, and everyone loved it. And said this needs to be an annual tradition, like whether you're releasing a movie or no, just recap your Halloween season. So that's what I've been doing ever since. So 2015 came and went. 2016 I actually recapped the whole thing, and that one's done already. And then I started on 2017 when I decided, like, well, why am I working forward when there's so much, there's 30 years prior I haven't even touched? Why don't I just start working backwards and then see where that brings us? So that's where the germ of the idea for this movie began is, you know, I have 2015. What if I went from 1985 all the way to 2015 and just recapped every year of my life? Like, wow, wouldn't that be something? And I do it in an entertaining way. It's supposed to be very funny and entertaining, and it moves around at a good clip. So hopefully it doesn't ever get too boring for everybody. And if you don't think my life's interesting, then this won't be a very interesting movie to you. But trust me, I try my best to make it really fun and entertaining. So that's kind of where the idea for this movie came from. And then over the course of the years, I started working on, okay, what would Halloween recap 1985 to 2002 be? And you can see all of the different influences of what turned this cute little kid into the king of Halloween. And that is what the movie will be. You're watching this kid grow up over the course of an hour and 37 minutes. So, that is what the King of Halloween movie special is. The wraparound portions, we kind of do it in a fun, scripted way. That's the only, like, scripted part of it. Otherwise, everything else you're seeing is real, like fun, actual stuff. It's all actually happening. And there are some fun little copyrighted clips and stuff in there. There's a lot of nostalgia. So it's not just home video footage of the King of Halloween. It's a lot of clips from some of your favorite Halloween movies and TV shows and audio and all that kind of stuff. So that's all mixed in, and it's all linear. It all takes place in order so that you're experiencing it with the King of Halloween. So there's that part of it. I'm very excited to show that to everybody for the first time. Talked an awful lot about this movie here. Let's toss to break real quick, and I'll talk a little bit more about the release and all that stuff and what to expect. And I'll do a little weekend recap as well. And that should wrap up this particular episode for the week. So let me toss you guys to break, and we'll be back in just a second.